The spiritual path starts with the word. It's, you could call it the stutra, the sound. Or in the case of the Bhagavad Gita, the song. We hear the call of something greater. It resonates. It could be, there's someone in our group, Amit, where it was the idea of enlightenment. Is that just the thought, enlightenment, not knowing what it meant. The word was the song that activated the quest. The song is calling to something in us that's already there. Something in us resonates when we get this call. It recognizes the truth of it. It has a compelling pull. For that instant, we become a note of that song. It's the beginning of the journey. If the song has come, if we have been touched, if we have heard it, if we have recognized it, if we had a sense of it, the next thing is beginning to gather the Veda, the knowledge associated with that. What is this? And at this gathering of this knowledge takes action, inquiry, the searching of seekers. So there's this effort by which we learn more of this word. And in this effort, we set in motion a process in ourselves that begins to increase our capacity to hear this song. So we find a teacher, perhaps, or certainly teachings. Something gets activated, something starts calling us, and we come out of the habit of our separative human life and begin to attune, to hear, to be pulled to something other than that. Perhaps not knowing fully what it is. It's a process of unfolding, of revelation, of realization, and of awakening. The third component is the teacher or the teachings. So there is the word, the sutra, there is the action, and there is the teachings or the teacher. The teachings come from those who have come not only capable of hearing the song, but are actually channels or instruments of the song itself. And then this enhances, strengthens the ability of that in us which is still caught up in the obscurity of our separative human lives to come out of that. It begins to purify, align, clarify, simplify our systems. And then the fourth factor is time. How long it takes. Where we end up is we become channels or instruments of this song into existence. We become the song. We become the Gita. We hollow out. We become an empty vessel in which the universe finds its voice. There's a way that we prepare ourselves. There's a way to become the listening. To find that within ourselves that is quiet, that is not making noise. To be still. And to attend to the sound that's here always, in fact. We're not paying attention. We're distracted. It's compelling charm. Its captivating grace rolls off us like water off of a lotus. We're become impervious. We can't hear it. So the first thing we have to do is begin to become receptive. To open up. To come out of the separative enclosure of our separate self. The me. The mine. My want. My need. My ambition. My requirements. My fear. To let go, to relax. To become humble. Simple. What it is that we become when we become simple and silent and still is what we are. It's the central part of what it is that allows us to exist, to be self-aware. So in my experience, there's two ways we hear this music. One is through the awareness, through our intelligence. This sense of truth, or what is true, lasting and real. And the other is through our heart, through our experience, through our feeling nature, where we feel ourselves connected to something greater. Either or both can occur in our movement towards this compelling song. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yeah, it's just making a lot of noise.
So it comes down to two principles. This principle of truth, which separates itself from everything that's not truth, or this principle of love that moves into relationship with everything that it's separate from. As we travel on the path of truth, because discovering that one eternal, unchanging quality of being that we are, in that moment when we become the one thing, that one principle, we discover everything is there. And when we are on the path of love, opening ourselves up to all the infinite expressions of creation and moving into relationship to the dark and to the light, we also begin to include all within us. So at some point, the all that we move into relationship with becomes the one. In the same way that the one becomes the all. So we're all traveling this journey with our head and our heart. Our body is also a very important part of this, but in this nature of becoming aware of the song, becoming aware, being captivated by its wisdom and by its truth, by the revelations of the nature of what's true, what's eternal, what's silent and still, and by the heart, which opens itself from its separate shell and moves into relationship and existence in more and more expanded ways. It's these two together, like two tracks, take us to this final realization.